used Riverside?
Yeah, I use Riverside, but I mean, it'd be cool. We can just drop this on YouTube later.
Yeah,
And
yeah, that's cool with me for sure, bro. I'm down for that.
yeah, and do another stream another time. Cause
Yeah, bro.
yeah, cause
Good to
we
meet
got.
you. So your name's Jamil or Jamil.
Oh,
You go
wait a
by
minute. I should change that.
what?
That's
Oh,
it. Yeah, I should
yeah, you don't
definitely.
want to go by your name. I got you.
Nah, let me see. Rename.
But you go by Smoker Boy ATL
Oh,
online.
Digi.
Did you?
Mm-hmm. All right, here we go. That's better. I could hear the headphones when they sit to the side, but I figured this might be easier.
Yeah, I rock the headphones for sure.
Oh yeah, I usually stream without them because when I game, I get a little emotional.
You stream quite a bit.
I'm trying to get more into it. I was actually a lot more into it before this year. I just been having to work a lot more lately, and like I do stand up comedy, so I used to get a bunch of comedians together who are like older, and they, the one of them hasn't seen a video game since they don't even know what analog sticks were,
Man,
and
that's crazy.
I got them on Fortnite.
Yeah, that's I can see how that'd be wild. I haven't gamed in a while either, honestly. Not much of a gamer anymore, but I do love stand-up comedy, so it's dope that you do that. How'd you get into that, or how long you been doing that?
How about say 5 years now? Uh, I started because I was writing like short films and I needed free actors. So I went to go make friends with comedians. And then they're like, dude, get on stage. Because I started hosting like podcasts during COVID for comedians that didn't have like rooms. Nobody could get on stage. I was like, well, if we get on Zoom and we record it, we could just put it on YouTube. And they're like, that sounds genius. And I was like, yeah, nobody's doing it. And I was like, but we're in a small, nobody knew us. So by the time we got it really going, everybody was doing it.
Yeah,
But
for sure. It blew up. I mean, there a lot of people started, posting on YouTube. But I did see your clip. You went on first smoke of the day. You so you've just been kind of like in the community for a while, creating content, that sort of thing. Then did
well,
stand up on the side.
yeah. So started out like most people, selling in college. you know, like my friends, like for the amount I smoked, I needed to sell. So, and I had a girlfriend, and let's just say college money, like a college job, was not taking care of dates. And so I just started kicking it with more like-minded people because I was like, I really cared about the plant growing up. I've always cared about the plant. And then I, really embraced my inner festival kid and started traveling EDM festivals, going to see Bass Nectar, going to Denver a lot. And by like 2010, I was greasing up my lungs with dirty BHO. Yeah. But when I moved to Atlanta, I started podcasting, doing quick convos with Digi, and my tagline was "Mind if I smoke." So I would smoke with people, local artists, rappers, clothing designers, and then we started a podcast called The Smoke Battle. Is who rolls the best blunt? It's a competition of who rolls the best blunt, and we got a bunch of local people, and then we started getting more brands and growers and stuff on it, and doing live podcasts, and that turned into pop-ups and events. And so I've been curating events. Then we started branching out, and we brought Sluggers and Fidel and everything to the city, and Doja to Atlanta. And next thing you know, we're at Turp Basil. There's first smoke of the day. Somebody's like, you got to holler at those Atlanta guys. And me and Lance been cool ever since.
That's super dope, bro. Yeah, that's a cool story. Atlanta seems like it's a hot spot for, the plant, at least for consumption of the plant. But yeah, I'm sure it's a cool culture there. What's it like? Like, I think it's still pretty underground there. What's the community like there?
Oh yeah, it's weird. I was saying earlier to my twin, I have an identical twin, and I was talking to him, and I was like, dude, people try to act like it's not like here, but it's in gas stations, bro. Like if you really thought about that as a child, no form of cannabis, hemp or anything would be in gas stations. It's so
For
like,
sure.
and like from that culture, the stoner culture, a lot of transplants from other legal states come here. A lot of people come here from college. There's a lot of colleges, and so we call it a gray market. It's black market, but there's a lot of white label stuff going on. So a lot of white label people who come here and throw events and do rollouts. And it's the epicenter for trying to legalize it in the state, the capital. So it's a lot more relaxed here. You can carry up to a quarter pound.
Wow. That's pretty cool. I didn't know much about, the market there, but it's gray, like you said, which I
Mhm.
mean is kind of like most places nowadays. Most places have like a gray market in some fashion, whether it's like the hemp industry or whether like, the local police don't care or whatever. But yeah, I mean it's an interesting time in the industry. It's like, still very much the Wild West in my opinion. And yeah, I think it's only going to be like that it's going to be like that for a while,
Yeah,
in my opinion.
definitely. Like over the last 5 years, it's been a crazy boom in cannabis. Like I watched, it damn near was like it was overnight. Like I would go to like local pop-ups like 6 years ago, and it's a bunch of block work, like re-rock. That's when the Mylar bags really first started, like fresh out of the tuna can days. And just a lot of like just regular depths and the pre-spray, like when they were spraying natural terps on it. And I was still like, this ain't it. This isn't like, this is just a bunch of local guys. And so when we started going after more like Cali brands and Michigan brands and out of state brands and really changing the culture of Atlanta, now you got, I walk into a trap house a few months ago, and it's a kid hitting like a $5,000 Toro piece in the hood. And I'm
Yeah,
like, yo,
getting
we're
heady
here.
out there.
Super heady, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, bro. There's a lot of people who I mean, I love hash too. I got my setup right here. That's what I, choose to consume if I'm just chilling at home. But
Oh,
change varies a little bit.
just took one.
Hell yeah, man.
Just I keep it, but like I'm noticing, like it's not a shift. We've gotten to the part of any industry where, like, you remember like 2000s, you had hardcore rap and then you had the pretty rap. You had the diamonds, the necklace, the rims. Then you had Eminem. Eminem didn't care about no rims. Like you had like, so it's still hardcore people. Like I'm smoking on Green Dog cultivators right now. Everybody know Green Dogs right now.
Yep.
And then you got the pretty stuff like Tinko, which is no disrespect to Tinko, but you're noticing like the pretty stuff is getting really blasted and a lot of propaganda behind it. And to the normal consumer, you don't know most of these brands if you're in like Georgia and all that. So you're trusting that if it's being pushed by Complex and Forbes, it has to be the best, right? But that's not always the
Yeah,
case. No
for sure.
disrespect.
Yeah, there's a lot of marketing hype. I mean, I'm a marketer, like I work in the industry as a video creator. I make videos for, the last couple of years I've always been in like the cultivation side of the business. Like I've helped like Athena Nutrients and Craft Farmer and done a little bit of work for Jungle Boys, but like always worked with people on the cultivation side of the business, but I'm learning a lot more about like the retailers and just the consumer market. I mean, I've always been a consumer myself, but like I've just gotten way more in the trenches when it comes to like consumer education and talking to people on that side of things. And like, bro, the people have no clue what is going on in the industry. Like, there's the hemp market, there's just all this marketing nonsense. I don't want to call the hemp market uh, like marketing nonsense, but just like all over the industry, there's marketing nonsense, and it's really hard for consumers to like find good products and find good brands. It's really hard to like wade through all that BS.
Exactly. And that's why I tell people like if you care, it might take a long time. It might be an impossible feat in some places. But and then I said no disrespect to the larger look local. Look local. Like Atlanta has a lot of growers. Most people don't even think that. And they're growing some fire shit. Like shout out to like Zen Bros. You got Hetty's Official, Tortuga Club, Organicere, Elevated Gardens, and so many more local grow organic herbs. And they're pumping out some fire crazy shit, man. And they're single sourcing, they're washing it themselves down here, they're pressing it themselves down here. And if you look local, 9 times out of 10, you're more likely to find somebody who cares.
That's the key. I totally agree. I always say like support craft growers, and that's really what I mean. Like the local people. A lot of my videos, I like recommend like all these brands like in the rec market, but really I just do that because you got to understand like 90% of the people that are going to be seeing this content are like they're just going to the dispo. Like they're not super tapped into the community and knowing all these like farmers and stuff. And so I really am just like recommending it to them, but at the same time, um, for the people who like really want to go down the rabbit hole and like find those like real craft growers, real craft farmers, like
Mhm.
I definitely recommend it. You know what I mean? Because yeah, that's where you're really going to find the quality. The guys who really take it seriously. Because dude, when you're running like a big rec business, like there's a lot of shit that goes that
Oh
goes
yeah,
into it. You know what I mean?
a lot of
A lot of
like
shit.
that's what I used to tell people. I was like, well, that's one of my taglines. That's what I used to tell people. But it's conversations I've had like Humboldt in the early 2000s, late 90s. Dude, that was pirate territory. It wasn't the super loving guys it is now. It was turn and burn. They were destroying the land. They were using all types of chemical to rush grows, renting out trailers, like destroying a lot of soil just to get some of that fire out, that diesel that y'all miss. But like you find people now who are going organic or using salts, using Athena, like, but they're still taking care of the plant. They're going full photo. It's no turn and burn crop. They're not overly chlorine in the ground. Like it's a whole new culture just to get some fire. And like, and don't get me wrong, auto flowering is mid, but to each his own. I prefer to go for a photo, but it's just a lot more experimental things going on. And I'm not saying like in a bad way, like tissue culture. I never thought I'd hear somebody talk about tissue culture in cannabis.
Yeah, I didn't know much about tissue culture until cannabis. I mean, my grandpa's a farmer, so like I come from like a farming family, but that's in when I say farming, I'm like talking about like massive fields of like corn and soybeans and shit, not cannabis. But yeah, like it just yeah, there's a lot of things. There's a lot that goes behind the scenes of like growing. You can do the whole organic inputs and or go that route, but just to do it at scale, like indoors, it's just so much harder. So like I do get, why like people have like the synthetic, foundation, then maybe like supplement with some organic inputs or whatever. But yeah, I mean, I've grown a little bit. I've worked in some grows, but I'm definitely not like, an expert in that world, but I've been around enough growers to like know, why like, everyone's not growing organically and shit like that.
Yeah, definitely. And same here. Like, I'm from rural Georgia. I'm from like the middle of nowhere. We got our summer money in the watermelon fields. You know what I'm saying? I mean, a kid making $1,000 a week is a happy kid back in the '90s and 2000s. But
For sure.
but like being from an agricultural place, and it started with food. You know, you have to care about what you put in your body, in your stomach. And if you care about what you put in your stomach, you don't care about what you put in your lungs. It's just like
Facts.
that.
Facts. Yeah. So many people, like, I don't know if you saw my video, but I posted it about like converted oil. And one of the comments that came in was like, just this guy. I mean, obviously, he was just like a troll, like no sweat or anything, but like he was like, bro, I do not care, or whatever. And I'm just like thinking to myself, like, why would you not care about the thing that you're literally putting into your lungs? You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
it's nonsense to like not care about, the things you're smoking and eating. Now, I do eat pretty shitty a lot of times, like I'm eating fast food and stuff like that, every now and again, but like I do try to, eat quality, smoke quality, all that good stuff.
Oh yeah, because I'm a bigger guy. I slip. It's
Yeah.
life, but
Yeah, bro.
I'm never finna smoke no terp weed. Like
Yeah. What is the spray pack scene there? Are a lot of people, smoking spray packs out in ATL?
and my soul hurts. It's like, and now, don't get me wrong, and it's some older cats too, but I run into a lot of kids like it's no shame in my game. I DoorDash when I need to DoorDash. So I'm out. I think I was go puffing. I was doing go puff delivery, and this kid, he's saying everything right about like holding it down, getting a job. He don't care if he got to be a janitor. And he's a young kid, like he gonna stack his money, he gonna do what he need to do, and he gonna convert it because he has a business idea. So I'm like, oh God, it's a smart kid. Oh, thank God. And so of course we started talking block work, and he's like, yeah, I only smoke terp. Oh my God, no, because that's what they're calling the spray terp out here. And I'm like,
Gotcha.
you said everything right up until that. Nah, man, you hit harder. It's like putting grabber in without the grabber. And I'm like, Lord Jesus. And I hear it so much now. And I was just going to bring it up, all of these, because it's mostly street brands. It's mostly hood brands, Fanta and Gas House and people like that out here spraying it. And to each his own. Just, and I'm just happy they're being honest about it now. That's my thing because I went back and forth with a lot of these brands over the last few years and got in a heated argument, lost pages just because they wouldn't admit they were sprayed. Dude, I got emphysema off of you. I'm not even gonna say who, but I smoked your weed. I got emphysema. Like,
Damn, bro. I don't even know what that is, but it doesn't sound good.
it's an upper respiratory infection.
Damn, bro.
Yeah.
Got it from the terped.
From the turd because like they're not infusing. That's propylene glycol. That's vape juice, bro. You're taking vape juice and infusing it and in some LCG, bro. LCG is still okay. We can just smoke LCG. Like,
Yeah, bro. I agree. I mean, I do fuck with runs. Just one sec. My phone's about to die. Just one sec. Yeah. Die, but dude, what you were saying, I have never heard that term terped, but that's really interesting to me because I mean, it's just how slang, gets created over time. Not everything pops up instantly. but terped. That's what people are calling it in Atlanta.
Yeah, and the whole East Coast really.
Okay.
Like it's spreading like and it, that LMC documentary it
Yep.
didn't help because I mean it helped because like you get to see like oh this
Yeah.
really a problem, but we like the average person just goes to get block work and you give them this and they
Mm-hmm.
don't know any better, you're taking away their autonomy. You're taking away their right to decide and choose whether or not to put that in their body. And that's what's hurting me the most because if you want to smoke spray, that's on you. That's you. Don't give it to people without telling them no.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm all about, bro. Like, I'm all for, capitalism, making money, like, if you want to do whatever to your flower and your product and sell it to whoever, do it, but just tell them. You know what I mean? There's so many people who, like you just said, there's probably a ton of people smoking terp who doesn't even know they're smoking terp just because they're going to their plug. Hey, can I get an eighth? Whatever. Yeah, and they don't even fucking know. But yeah, that is funny that yeah, like LMC definitely proliferated that idea. Shout out to Luke.
Yeah.
But it definitely seems like it just yeah, more people are smoking spray pack than ever, which I don't think it's necessarily his fault. I just think it's just what we talked about. It's block work. People don't know what they're getting. And like that one kid said that you were talking about, he said it hits harder. I don't know if that's true. I've never tried it, but maybe
It
it is true.
it does. It hurts. Like it doesn't
Does it?
hit. Yeah, like and like as somebody who's I'm from the South. I smoked cigarettes in the past, but I quit by the time I was 23. Let's just say you don't. It's hard having asthma and trying to shuffle at a festival after smoking a Newport.
Yeah.
But so I've spiced up my joint a few times, threw a little guava, a little tobacco before it was like popular. Like I hung out with a lot of island kids and Jamaicans and Trinidadians in college, and they would get the Afghan shag, which is hair like tobacco. It's really thin and it's really good tobacco, really clean, and they would put it in with some good ganja. But so I get one in that extra hit because in the hood, what we would do was we would smoke a blunt back in the day, and then we would follow it with a Newport, call it a high booster, right? So, um, and then when I hit some spray, I was like, it hit like it got tobacco in it. Like that was one of my
Mm-hmm.
first reactions. But the overall thing that really hits about it is the flavor. Like it's a unnatural flavor that you could instinctively taste.
Yeah, I've heard some. I just saw like the clip LMC posted actually with like Andrew Callahan with Channel 5, like smelling spray for the first time. And he like instantly said it smelled chemical. Honestly,
It's
like
horrible.
I've never got like a spray pack, so I can't even speak on it. But it is fucked up that people are, getting that without knowing. But is it really? I mean, I do get it. Like, the plugs are doing their thing, like selling. People are just coming to them buying product, whatever. But yeah, like it gets especially fucked up, like when you're in these like state markets. Like that video was obviously. Someone was telling me that in the Arizona market, they were selling this converted oil. It's probably happening all over because I know in Colorado, ProPublica like did an investigation on that shit. And yeah, like it's just way cheaper to produce than normal. It's even cheaper to produce than normal distillate, and which is why like people are using it nowadays. But like the fact that that shit's being sold in the stores without anyone knowing, in my opinion, is just so fucked up, especially with like all this like CHS drama going on. Like I just talked to this guy named Rick Pescator. He's like an ER doctor based in Philly, and he's like he says he's one of the most like foremost experts on CHS because he just treated so many people. He's like a doctor when it comes to like the brain gut connection, and apparently that has to do with CHS, like irritable bowel syndrome, a couple other things. But
Mm-hmm.
he was saying that they know for sure that it is cannabinoids because like I'm from the community, like I'm hearing all these people who are like, oh, it's heavy metals, oh, it's pesticides, like all this different shit about CHS, but like he's pretty certain it's from cannabinoids, but then there's also like some other underlying thing, like it could be like nutrient deficiency plus like allergy plus just all this other things. And yeah, I think like that converted oil, cheap distillate, all that stuff is ultimately like perpetuating that problem. Maybe not perpetuating it, but like it is when these consumers are like uneducated. Who knows if it's making it worse though? No one really knows.
Yeah, and that's my whole thing about the industry because like yeah, like we live in a capitalist society, so a big part of capitalism is cutting corners. You know what I'm saying? Finding a way to
Yeah.
produce it, finding a way to produce it for the highest profit yield.
Hmm.
And it's like, have you had a bag of yikes yet? Burners new chips.
Uh, no, that's like Burner's new chip.
Yeah, you're gonna get that bag, and that bag's gonna be a fifth full. I was upset. There's like 20 chips in there.
Oh man, that's fucked
But
up.
they're amazing. I'm gonna go get another bag. Like it's
Yeah.
capitalism, like the flavor was crazy. And
So they were solid
oh,
product.
delicious. Art this world. It's just like, and they're like cheaper than other chips too. So it's just what it is. But that's a form of capitalism. So like, there's always gonna be other shit. That's what I call it. There's shit, there's other shit, and then there's gonna be other shit. And I work sales and marketing for major electronics brands and currently for a major beverage company right now. And that's what I tell my coworkers and some of the people under me, dude, every day is gonna be shit. You're gonna run into shit. There's gonna be shit on the shelves that should where our shit should be. Move that shit, keep
Hmm.
your shit moving. Don't worry, like I'm not gonna go on a campaign against spray packs. You know what I'm saying? Just don't smoke.
Yeah,
Don't
yeah,
give it to people. It's always gonna be
yeah,
shit.
yep. I definitely agree. Yeah. So you said you do like event management or event planning in Atlanta.
Well, I throw cannabis events in Atlanta, and I branched out. Last year, I threw a PuffCon pre-party in LA that was crazy. Sold like
That's
200
dope.
tickets. We were like right down the street from Be Easy, so people were popping in and out. And then like a bunch of rollers had an event too. Like shout out to the rollers becoming like new stars in the industry. But so like in Atlanta, we were curating pop-ups. At first, it started off like live podcasts, but then the Re-Rock boys, the vendors, they wanted to like, hey man, let us give you money as a vendor fee and let us set up. We were like, oh, okay, bet, let's do it. But then we was like, all right, if we're serious about cannabis, so we can't keep working with Re-Rock boys. So we started just making phone calls, seeing who we knew, made connections. Like I I've been on a few TV shows and did a few movies, and I've had a good life. So I've made a lot of connections. So we just started calling people, and next thing you know, like we had like Bodega Boys. Bodega Boys is like one of the first major companies to fuck with us, and it was beautiful. We still family to this day. We started with Lavender Boys and other companies, and Sluggers came. We made commercials for them, started throwing pop ups with them. Sluggers' birthday party in Atlanta. We had Fidel, Doja, Backpack Boys out here, and they steadily starting to grow. And then other people who threw events, they were at that event, they made connections. So now more people are throwing events for more Cali brands out here. So now we've had Be Easy here like twice already. As soon as Turk Basil ended last year, we immediately did a pop up with Cali plug here in December. And so like it's a thriving market. Like first smoke's coming in 2 weeks with Doja and Waves again. And that's gonna be fun. We're gonna do like hopefully do a Beltline stream where like in Atlanta that's just long park walkway around the city with restaurants. And so,
That's dope.
all of the yuppies.
That's dope.
Yeah. So it's a huge pop-up scene. It's a huge cannabis event scene. As you probably know, like Nomad Cook's doing the tour right now. And they just did an Atlanta stop. So like shout out to my brother John Capetta. I love you. It was a beautiful experience. And people came out of all walks of life, like lawyers. Like I brought a prosecutor with me as a date. You know what I'm saying? Like, and
Yeah,
she's like adamant about getting the industry going in Georgia.
that's dope, dude. Yeah, like events, I feel like is it's huge in the industry, and it's like an amazing form of marketing. It's like a subsect of marketing. What do you think, as like since you're a marketer and whatnot, what do you think is like the best way for brands to like grow and I guess like build connection with their community nowadays?
Literally demos. Like the same way that Doja just did that with all the influencers and some of the heavy hitters. Do demos, bro. Do tastings. Like give back to the community. Host something for the kids. Do giveaways, like community drives, like be real part. Like the barbershop would do it, you should do it too. Like
Yeah.
if a restaurant like Slutty Vegan, they may have went out of, did bankrupt, but they
Hmm.
fed the city for free one day. With Chris Paul paid for it and Gabrielle Union, but they fed Atlanta for free one day. Every Slutty Vegan. So like everybody may not be able to afford that scale, but you can afford to give away a joint. I watched Preferred
Hmm.
Gardens when they were nobody, walk around events, handing out joints, and now look at Preferred Gardens.
Yeah. No, that's some serious game right there. I feel like because I'm a big believer in like reciprocity and whatnot. Just give more, and it'll all come back. But
Mm-hmm.
that's some real game. Like honestly, the whole demo because I just saw Doja, did that on. Saw some of the stories he posted or whatnot, and yeah, I think that's so smart when, especially like of his caliber, dropping new flavors. You got like this like private tasting, all the people with influence in the industry there. Like it's very smart marketing. And yeah, shout out to Preferred. In my opinion, there's not many people doing it better than Preferred because like you got David, who's just like a legendary grower, got a great reputation, and then you got all this like marketing around him, and obviously the product speaks for itself. Like it's everyone says it's the best, and I've had a lot of
It is.
the hype batch, like, or maybe not the exact batches, but MLZ and then all the other flavors he's been dropping. But Preferred's going crazy,
Yeah.
and I love to see it because he's a mixed light grower, and I feel like there's is something special to like the mixed light greenhouse setup. You got like the perfect indoor environment, but then you also got the added sun, and then you just got an amazing grower like David. So yeah,
Yep.
it's
And
putting
then you
out
got
some of the best product.
a lot of people using the under canopy lights from Craft Armor. That's my. I love you. I love you, Craft. Uh,
Shout out to Lance. Lance is a legend for
yeah,
sure.
between him and Brandon Rust out there in Oklahoma, right? They've helped me a lot, like just with connections. Like when I travel, I'm like, hey, who do you know here? I need you. Like, I'm in town with my girl. If you need
Hmm.
something, I put another link in the chat if you want to keep going.
Yeah, bro, I'm down. Let's keep going. I saw it did have some time where it was 3 minutes left, but yeah, no, that's cool. Drop a
Yeah.
chat. No, this is cool, bro. This is like my first time ever like hopping on a stream with anyone else, really. I mean, obviously, I've hopped on. I have my podcast that I'm doing now. You should definitely come on that. We'll post it on my YouTube channel at some point. But
Oh yeah, because
yeah,
now I'm about to start asking you questions on this next one. It's in the chat now.
yeah, I got you.
All right,
Yeah, bro, it's a good time.
definitely. All right, about to click on it. They about to end us. We have 2 minutes left in this one, so we can just go
No
ahead and jump
problem.
over.
Yeah, I'll take a dab.
Yeah, that's what I got my bowl pack because I hit a crazy glob.
Oh, so this link that you dropped is the new link.
Hmm.
Okay, perfect. All right, I think it should be.
It doesn't start to 9:45. I mean, you can pretty much start them when you want though.